We've all heard that what's good for the planet might also be good for your conscience, but what if it's also good for your lifespan? Enter the Planetary Health Diet Index, PHDI, a framework born from the Eat-Lancet Commission's ambitious attempt to feed nearly 10 billion people without setting Earth on fire. But while the PHDI was originally designed to combat planetary collapse, researchers are now asking a deliciously subversive question. Could saving the planet also slow down the aging process? Let's be clear, the PHDI isn't just a trendy salad bar checklist. It's a structured scoring system that rewards diets low in red meat, high in whole grains, legumes, nuts, fruits, and vegetables, and sourced from sustainable farming practices. In other words, it's the you and meets your grandmother's kitchen. Unlike many diet indices that focus solely on health biomarkers, the PHDI simultaneously measures environmental impact, think greenhouse gases and land use, and human health outcomes like cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and, yes, longevity. The latest longitudinal studies analyzing adherence to the PHDI are revealing a pattern that's surprisingly symmetrical. What reduces carbon emissions tends to also reduce your odds of a heart attack. In one large prospective cohort study involving over 100,000 adults followed for more than a decade, high PHDI adherence was linked to a significantly lower risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer, and all-cause mortality. Even better, it also predicted better physical function and preserved mobility in older adults, a sure sign that we're not just adding years to life, we're adding life to years. The cardiovascular benefits make sense biologically. Diets that are heavy on plants and low on processed meats naturally reduce LDL cholesterol, lower systemic inflammation, and improve endothelial function. These are the same levers pulled by classic longevity-friendly diets like the Mediterranean and DASH, but the PHDI adds an extra sustainability filter. For instance, it gives a nutritional gold star for swapping animal protein with legumes or tofu, not just because it's healthier, but because it emits fewer cow burps into the atmosphere. Who knew methane reduction and muscle preservation could hold hands? But the real kicker is the link between sustainable diets and mobility, one of the best predictors of healthy aging. Emerging evidence shows that individuals with higher PHDI scores are less likely to experience frailty, slower gait speed, and muscle loss with age. This is likely due to a combination of factors. High-fiber diets feed the gut microbiome, which influences muscle mass and immune regulation, and diets rich in antioxidants reduce oxidative stress, which helps preserve neuromuscular function over time. In other words, your quinoa bowl may be stealthily protecting your ability to climb stairs at 85. And the benefits don't end with physical health. Several observational studies have found associations between higher PHDI scores and reduced risk of depression, cognitive decline, and even sleep disturbances, likely due to a combo platter of stable blood sugar, inflammation control, and micronutrient density. Unlike fad diets that leave you sad and snacky, the PHDI's diversity of whole foods may nourish the body and mind, while supporting planetary biodiversity along the way. Of course, some skeptics might argue that the PHDI feels a bit earnest. It's hard to romanticize lentils and chickpeas when you're used to bacon cheeseburgers. But part of the charm and sustainability of this diet is its flexibility. You don't have to become a climate monk overnight. Even modest shifts in the PHDI direction, like replacing one meat-based meal per day with a plant-based option, have been shown to cut cardiovascular risk and significantly lower individual dietary carbon footprints. It's not all or nothing. It's all slightly better. So, do planet-friendly diets support human longevity? Increasingly, the answer is a resounding yes, with the added bonus that your great-grandkids may actually have a planet to live on. The PHDI proves that health and sustainability don't have to be separate menu items. They're part of the same dish. And if that dish happens to include spiced lentils, roasted vegetables, and a smug sense of moral superiority, well, that's just seasoning. Because in the end, the best diets aren't just good for you. They're good for the whole ecosystem you're aging in. And if eating to save the planet also means more years with your friends, your legs, and your cognitive faculties intact, that's a pretty appetizing reason to pass the beans.